Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Ark. Today in this video, folks, I'm going to be showing you how to tame the Kentrosaurus. Now, the Kentrosaurus is a creature that looks very similar to a Stegosaurus, and in terms of taming food, you will want to use either the regular kibble right here, or of course you can use berries, but it does take longer with berries, and of course you will need a lot more narcotics for that. Now, the Kentrosaurus, as I said, looks similar to the Stegosaurus. It is slightly smaller, and unlike the Stegosaurus, which is a passive creature until you attack it, the Kentrosaurus is one of those creatures that will become aggressive. It is a herbivore, and once you get close to it, it will impale you on its tail spike, so you need to be careful for that. Now, in front of me, there is a level 145 actually Kentrosaurus. It's actually two of them, and so the best way of doing it without the purpose of using a trap is to find high ground where it cannot get to you and knock it out from there. But do be prepared to chase it around once it, of course, has its torpor high enough, because it will want to run away. So you will need a creature good enough for that. Now, I've got plenty of regular kibble, and of course I'm not going to be using the meho berries, but you can use that as well. Just bear in mind that if you do use the meho berries, it will take a bit longer, so that means it will lose a lot more torpor, therefore you may possibly need more narcotics. So as you can see, there are two Kentrosauruses there. I do not want to upset them, so I'm going to find the high ground. Luckily for me, I've got a wyvern, but of course you can use grappling hooks and stuff like that. Now, the area that I'm in does tend to have quite a few nasty creatures, so I do need to be careful for this. And the good thing is, because they are aggressive, once I hit them with a dart, they will want to come for me. But equally speaking, because of the area that I am in, I will also need to potentially defend them from other creatures. As, for example, when I initially found these Kentros, they were fighting off some Dimorphodons, and of course they were losing to the Dimorphs. So do keep that in mind. Now, as you can see, the Kentrosaurus has moved quite a distance. That is because it has run away, and I am chasing it, trying to put in the final darts. Now, for this, of course, you can use either a long neck rifle or a crossbow with trank arrows. If you do use crossbows and trank arrows, do bear in mind it will do more health damage to the Kentrosaurus, and of course, there is a chance that stuff may spawn in an attempt to kill it, just like that stupid scorpion that you see there. I'm going to try and sort that guy out without actually killing the Kentro, because that is the aim of this video. There we go. Now, if you're wondering about the colors, these I believe are the Easter colors. So I am doing this during the Easter holiday on Ark. So that's why we get all these wonderful little colors on the dinos. There we go. It has now been knocked out. Now, once it has been knocked out, what I would do is I would surround it with spiked walls, so that way you can keep it safe from other creatures. As I said, the area that I am in does tend to have all sorts of nasty creatures that will want to attack the Kentro, and there is quite a big list of creatures that do want to pick fights with these things, so best to keep things at bay with some spiked walls. So I'm going to show you what I do with the spiked walls. I'm in no rush to actually put food and narcotics in the Kentro. It does have a good timer on the torpor before it depletes completely, so I'm not in any rush or hurry. I'm just going to try and kind of give myself some space. Obviously, I want to encase my wyvern as well, and that'll give me enough time to get out and defend if I need to. Now, I think the worst case scenario in this area would be a Rex or a Megalosaurus or something like that with a good long range on its bite. Now, always make sure that there's nothing around you when you place these things down. You don't want to end up trying to fight stuff off while you're placing down the spiked walls. So I'm going to try and give myself some room. What I do like about the spiked walls is that you can kind of place them pretty much anywhere. We do have a tree here in the way, so I'm going to have to clear this out. I don't know if I have any tools on me, so I might have to punch it down. I think I might potentially... I think I remember having a pickaxe. There we go, that's the pickaxe. So I'll go and use this. I don't know why I forgot about having this pickaxe on me. I normally tend to have one. So, sort that out. Place the final spiked wall. If there is a small gap, there's nothing to worry about. Things don't tend to get through, but you do want to be extra cautious. You don't want to have a creature get the jump on you whilst you are in the Kentro's inventory. Another good way of taming the Kentro, if you want to be extra safe and not waste your kibble, is to use the starving technique. That just implies that you starve out the creature sufficiently before you put the food in. For this, I do suggest and recommend using Dodo Decks. For those that don't know about it, it is an amazing app that you can download both for Apple devices as well as Android devices, and all you need to do is put in the server details, the creature that you're trying to tame, the level of the creature, and it will tell you for how long you need to starve it out. It is an amazing app, definitely worth getting it. I'm going to put my Ferox in a cryopod for the time being, and I'll just wait for the Kentro to starve out. Now, once the Kentro has been starved out sufficiently, I will place the food in its inventory. Of course, this time around I went with the regular kibble and wait for it to eat. Sometimes there is a bit of a lag with when it wants to eat, so do keep that in mind. It is going to eat eventually, just wait it out. Remember to take out the food out of its inventory, otherwise it will consume the kibble. And of course I'm going to use a mod to place it on my shoulder and move it out. Now, I always like to clean up after myself, even though this is my own server, so I will pick up the spiked walls, and I don't really want to demolish them, so of course I'm going to use the S Plus demo gun to pick up all of my spiked walls. Now, I recommend that you do this on your servers as well, just to keep things nice and tidy, because it is not nice when you want to do something like this, but you can't because of other people's structures that have been abandoned. One cool thing about the Kentrosaurus, as you can see, it's got spikes on its back, so it does have the ability to act like a mobile spiked wall. So that is pretty cool. I mean, it's cool but useless, to be fairly honest. But it does have a pretty neat ability in that it can impale small and medium creatures on its tail. Whilst impaled, you cannot run away, and it can do damage with its tail swings. It is a nice creature in terms of design. It is, as I've said, a herbivore, but it is also a aggressive herbivore, which will attack you if you get too close to it, so keep that in mind. And it is definitely one of those creatures that you can have in your base as a form of defense. Do bear in mind that they will probably not do very much, simply because they're not tanky, and they can act as mobile spiked walls if you want to have them around your base. Most people will not necessarily bother with taming these things out. Of course, they are egg-laying dinos, so you can use their eggs to make kibble, and I only did it because, of course, I am doing a series on how to tame every single dinosaur and creature in the game, and the Kentro is a creature in the game, so that is the purpose of this video. This is to help everyone out that wants to tame pretty much any creature in the game, so that's what I'm aiming to do. Also important to note is that the Kentro by default does not have a saddle, so that means you cannot ride it. It can follow you around, and it can act as a guard should you want it to follow you around, and that's pretty much another use for this creature in the game. However, do bear in mind it is a herbivore, and unlike carnivores, they are a bit more difficult to heal when they do take damage. With carnivores, all you need to do is feed them meat. So with herbivores, a bit more funky with regards to healing them. So keep that in mind, which is one of the reasons why it's kind of not necessarily a creature that people will have following them around. Other than that, I can say it is a cool looking creature, and for those on PvP, you can tame some of these guys and just go around trolling people. It's fun to watch them be impaled on the spikes of this wonderful creature and just have a laugh. I mean, other than that, I can't really see much of a purpose for these guys. They're not really necessarily good for base defense. They're easy to kill, and they don't really replace, or they might potentially slightly complement turret towers, but you don't really want to use these guys because they can get killed, whereas turret towers are a bit more useful anyways. That is it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please don't forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on the channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, Stay safe, folks.